In a future world, unknown creatures emerged from deep underground and wiped out human civilization. Strangely, these monsters never set foot above 8,000 feet, as if some invisible barrier held them back. I've been surviving with my son in the Rocky Mountains for 3 years now. The remaining survivors have slowly reverted to a primitive way of life. But Nina, a scientist, never gave up the fight. She spent every day developing new ammunition, yet nothing could pierce the monster's hardened skin. Then our fragile peace shattered. My son has a chronic illness, and his condition suddenly took a turn for the worse. The medical supplies left on the mountain weren't enough to keep him alive. I came up with a desperate plan and found Nina, asking her to accompany me to a hospital halfway down the mountain. She owed me her life, and she'd been studying these creatures since day one. She knew their behavior inside and out. I'd already mapped out a route, an abandoned mine shaft that led straight to the hospital. The next morning, I left my son with someone I trusted and headed to the armory to gather supplies. When my friend Katie heard about our mission, she insisted on coming along. I couldn't talk her out of it, so I let her join us. The three of us made our way down the steep cliffs. Nearby, we could see the aftermath of battles between the military and the monsters. I worried that creatures might be hiding in the craters, but Nina pulled out a compass and explained. The monsters generate a powerful biomagnetic field. The needle was steady, which meant none of them were close. Once we crossed below the 8,000-foot line, we officially entered monster territory. We scavenged the battlefield for useful gear. I found a grenade launcher and handed it to Katie, while Nina picked up a piece of monster skin. Once we had everything, we pressed on. In the 3 years since humans disappeared, wildlife had completely taken over the forest. Soon, we reached the cable car station. The other end sat halfway up the mountain. If we could get it running, we'd be back in the safe zone. But then Nina's compass started spinning wildly. A monster was closing in. Out in the open, there was no way we could outrun it. We split up immediately. I scrambled up to the control panel while Nina and Katie held the creature off. Just as the monster was about to come into range, the red glow on its body vanished into the trees. Then it came charging straight at us. I frantically reconnected the power. Nina jumped onto the cable car first, and I was right behind her. Katie was too far away and had to climb up the pole. We kept firing, but our bullets couldn't slow it down. Katie timed her jump perfectly, and I caught her midair. The next second, the monster's claws hooked onto the cable. It snapped instantly, and we plummeted from the sky. By sheer luck, we landed just above the 8,000-foot line. We made our way into the abandoned mine. Nina warned us that even though the entrance was above 8,000 feet, the deeper sections would drop below that threshold. The monsters lived underground and could sense where humans were. Even the slightest breath could give us away down here. But there was no turning back now. We had no choice but to go in. After walking for a while, my heart sank. The passage to the hospital was sealed shut. Then I remembered there was another route, but it would take us down to 7,000 feet deep into the danger zone. We gathered our courage and climbed down through a pipe, trying to get through as fast as possible. Suddenly, Katie sensed something following us. We immediately covered our headlamps and held our breath.